Hey, Nickie Brown here. No matter where you are and no matter what part of the world you're in, I hope that you're having a good day. There's a topic I would like to discuss, and I've been thinking about it for like the last 2 days. And I can't remember the intro I had, but our thoughts are not our own. It's basically the topic, right? And for the most part, we get our thoughts from our caretakers, whoever that might be to you, because that's something different for everybody. It's not mother and father for everybody. So don't say, oh, well, it's not about you. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about everyone in general. Okay? Thank you. So, the fears, the insecurities, and whatever that fear may be, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of a spider, fear of okra, I don't know, whatever it is, it's different for everybody. But basically, somebody told you what to think. Somebody told you what to do. The advice may have been good. Maybe it wasn't so good. Maybe it was good for one person, but not good for another. But the point is, we usually don't think for ourselves. Most people do not think for themselves. We're just repeating the same behaviors or the same words that we heard someone else say. And then we live accordingly, right? But, some of the things that we do or say, they're not our choice. Again, they came from someone else. This is someone else's ways, thoughts, and actions that are being projected onto us. And we're talking hundreds of years, not just, for the time of span, for the time span that you've been here on Earth. We're talking about hundreds of years this has been going on. So for some people, it's like almost hereditary now. It's so deeply embedded into their psyche. A lot of the things that we say and or do, again, whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent, we have a tendency to repeat cycles. And for some people, we're out here breaking those cycles. So, there is this common misconception that, especially amongst the Black community, and I'm only speaking to the Black community because I was born and raised in the Black community, right? And I don't like the word Black because Black is a color. It's not a nationality. And, everyone else in the world identifies by nationality except the United States. And that is for a reason, but I won't get into that. We are here to help one another, right? Some people don't know the difference between taking care of someone and helping someone. And I find that especially amongst young men who were raised by single mothers. I remember telling my son, we're all each other has. When he was growing up, I made sure to tell him that so that when he got older, he would see that, we only have each other. We're here to help each other, right? But over the years, other people have gotten into his head and society has gotten into his head. So, because maybe I'm not in a certain place financially, he'll compare me to his friends' parents. You cannot compare a single parent to a two-parent household where they both had really good incomes and stayed together for the duration. right? There is no comparison. So if, people are supposed to help each other out, right? It's not, his thing is, oh, well, you're the mom, so you're supposed to be the one that's helping me. That's not even realistic. It's very immature, first of all. That's a very immature way to think. And number two, it's not realistic because I'm not in the same situation. Why are you even doing a comparison? Comparison is the thief of all joy. So you're stealing joy from yourself by comparing me to someone else, because I'm not comparing myself to anyone. I'm just doing what I need to do. And then he feels like I'm supposed to do what he wants me to do the way that he wants me to do it. But no, and I know I'm getting off the subject a little bit, but a lot of the people in this age range, say 25 to 35, they feel so entitled, and we gave them so much that now they feel like they shouldn't have to, have any real responsibilities. They should just be able to come to their parents and, have their parents bail them out. And I know my generation has done that. Generations prior have done that. A lot of people go to their parents for help, if and when they need it. But there are some parents who need help too. And no, it shouldn't be where it's burdensome. But, there are a lot of families who live together. So by default, they're helping one another and supporting one another. And, when I made the suggestion, and only temporary, we should do this, help each other out for like a year. When the suggestion is made, there's always resistance. But then on the other side, it's like, oh, we should have done this, or we should do that. But you now want to live in a more expensive dwelling when we could live in an inexpensive dwelling, save up some money, and then move to, a better place. But no, because, he wants girls and all. So your priorities are all messed up, right? So now you're in a situation where you're really going to be messed up. But then you'll tell me, oh, you were right, I should have listened to you. That's what grown people do, right? You're so grown that you feel like you don't want to listen, and you're so grown that you feel like you can talk to people any kind of way because you're grown. Well, I shouldn't say people. Well, I will say people. So grown people figure it out. Grown people don't depend on other grown people, because grown people don't need help, right? That's how you're saying it. Grown people don't need help. So why you say you don't want to help me, which is fine. Then you turn around and ask me for help, which is no. Who put those thoughts in your head? It's very immature and foolish. It wasn't me. Again, I always advocated, as you get older, all we have is each other. But that went in one ear and out the other, because you don't believe it. Because again, you have other people in your ear telling you stuff that doesn't make sense and is not true. So believe whatever they, and then people feel silly when they believe a lie, and then it could be a day later, it could be an hour later, it could be weeks later, it could be months later, it could be years later, they find out it wasn't true. They feel silly. But I'm not here to prove, I'm not proving anything, right? But again, you're taking on thoughts from someone else, right? These thoughts are not your own. And you're projecting that energy out into the universe. You're just building karma for yourself. Right? And I hear people say, especially people that are in that age range, but other people say it too, I don't want anybody to tell me what to do. But then they can't do anything unless somebody tells them what to do. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So Like, say, for example, Taco Tuesday. You know how many people will only eat tacos on Tuesdays because somebody came up with Taco Tuesdays? So it's like deeply embedded in, oh, this is what I have to do. Or if somebody says, oh, you have to stand in a single file line, but then you have one person that's standing off to the side, because I'm claustrophobic. I don't want to stand in no line. I don't like standing in lines. So I stand to the side. I'm not going to let nobody get in front of me. People already know not to get in front of you. Or people will get upset if you don't move up closer, sooner. Again, all of these are things that somebody else told you that you were supposed to do. These are not your original thoughts. You're not thinking for yourself. This is not critical thinking. And it's like, again, I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. But for some people, if you don't tell them what to do, they don't have a clue. And yes, we all do things that maybe, we could have done a different way or could have been better. But when somebody is trying to help you and you don't want that help, and then they choose not to deal with you because of the way that you are, which is usually stubborn or prideful or whatever it is. But if you make a decision for yourself as an adult, people have no choice but to respect it. And if they don't respect you, you have a choice too. Right? So, a lot of times we'll try to help people who don't make good decisions. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just have to leave them alone and let them be.